Hi, this is Magic Malt Larson. If you want something brand new, try something really old. Yes, I do a show called Hear Them Again for the First Time, and I play recordings, many of which are so old that they're brand new to most of our audience. Try CRN 1 Sunday afternoon, 4 to 5 p.m., and that's Pacific Time. We have a lot of fun, and it's totally different radio.
Everybody's talking at me.
President Obama, over anti-white, anti-Christian, anti-Semitic, painfully evident, Rush says to some observers and suspected by others for some time. Where can they get a copy of the book, Eric?
You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, the WorldNet Daily Superstore, or if you go to ericrush.com, erikrush.com, there are links to various other places where you can find it.
All right, going to try to talk about the Reverend Wright here in just a moment, but let's sneak a call in from San Diego, California. Diane, you're on with Eric Rush.
Hi, Chuck, and Mr. Rush. I have been following this case quite a bit recently, but have you read anything online about I guess it's on One News One News Now, and it was a quote by it's a Bishop Harry Jackson. He's a senior pastor of Hope Christian Church in Washington, D.C. He did say it seems like it was there's a double standard there, and it's reverse discrimination. And he also quoted that he believed that Martin Luther King would never have condoned this type of behavior. And he said we're going to have to get back to these institutions as an administration of justice, not being political arm of any party. And then I heard Megyn Kelly on Fox News earlier today and yesterday. She's done an entire timeline, and she spoke to a gentleman by the name of Hans von Spassky. He's from the Heritage Foundation, and he was a former FEC commissioner. And he does definitely agree that there is reverse discrimination going on here with this case. And the timeline shows where this Pirelli, who is the third in charge of DOJ, was going back and forth between the White House and speaking to Cassandra Butts, who is a NAACP lawyer, and she had many conversations, and so the White House log does show that. And
you have a question, because we're running out of time here.
Basically, where do you think this will go, Mr. Rush? Do you think that there'll be any other kind of other litigation that will come out of this?
Well, I think it's 50-50 as to whether it just dies or to whether it goes farther. That's one of the reasons I'm really trying to keep the issue out there, not just for the sake of getting on the radio, but the fact is that the more we talk about it, the more the establishment press and other outlets will have to address it, and that the government will have to address it. The Civil Rights Division has already decided to reissue some subpoenas and talk to some people who had been talked to before, and there's questions as to whether some of them lied about, or the assistant director of the Justice Department had lied about how this wound up getting put to bed with the Black Panthers. I did hear the story of what the bishop was saying, and I've heard of him. You know, he's a good guy. Obviously, I've heard what Megyn Kelly did.
Right.
But that's kind of preaching to the choir. What we really need to do in order to get this noticed is to make enough noise that the establishment press has to look at it, and that the Obama administration has to go on the defensive, because at this point they don't have any impetus to go on the defensive, because the establishment press is not, they're in the tank for them and they're not saying anything. So it is, it is gratifying to me when I see other people, saying, hey, this has to be looked at, and that there is a timeline. I mean, it's difficult to nail down paper trails on things like these, but there are always telltale signs.
And especially telltale signs that amount to a video. So that's on our side. Eric, have you had any of this, oh, you're an Uncle Tom for writing this book?
All the time, and far worse invective as well. I get been getting that for years, and I will continue to. I've gotten more of it since the book came out, but, you know, once again, the majority of the feedback is overwhelmingly positive.
And I'll tell you, listeners, WorldNet Daily, every day they've got part of this book by Eric Rush. I think today it had to do with the NAACP and the Tea Parties. I mean, we could go for 2 hours talking about this.
Oh,
why don't you
absolutely.
go out and buy the book? My goodness. Hey, thank you very much, and much success. Eric Rush, and the book is Negrophilia, Negrophilia, From Slave Block to Pedestal, America's Racial Obsession. Thank you very much, sir. Look forward to our next visit.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. Coming up next, Tom DeWeese. He's president of the American Policy Center, editor of the DeWeese Report. The food police are coming. They're going to get your salt. That's right. We'll be right back.